Direct from Foxborough, Massachusetts, the gem of Norfolk County, and taped at the studios of Foxborough Cable Access. It's Foxborough Central. And here's your host, Bob Hickey.
And welcome to another fantastic episode of Foxborough Central. I am Bob Hickey, your host, and I want to thank you for taking the time to join with me and my guest as we talk about the people, events, and organizations that make Foxborough truly the gem of Norfolk County. On this election special, we are honored and graced to be joined by candidate for the Board of Selectmen, Leah Gibson. Leah, thank you so much for taking the time to come to our show.
Thanks for having me on, Bob.
So, pleasantries out of the way now. Let's just jump right in. You want to be a member of the Board of Selectmen. There are 2 seats open that are being contested, and you are running for one of those 2 seats, a 3-year term.
Yes, I want to be the next new face on the Board of Selectmen.
Fantastic. Well, this is the perfect opportunity to figure out why you want to do such a thing. So, and I'm a former selectman myself, so I think it's great to give back and be a volunteer. So what was your motivation? And let's just start at the beginning. Why do you want to be selectman? Sure.
So I've always had a big pull to roll my sleeves up, do everything I can, get involved, volunteer in the community. And I've done a lot, and I have a great business background. Mm-hmm. So with my education, my career, my love for this town, I have a unique mix to bring to the table. You know,
it's funny, we were joking before the program, and I've known you as a Taylor PTO leader.
Yes.
You're the president this year, correct?
Yes, this year I'm president.
Fantastic, and at the Marilyn Robbins Center, we had the Taylor Elementary School musical in there with Lower Canfield, and it was just such a wonderful, magical experience.
Wonderful.
But I got to know you through that.
Yes.
And I was like, what exactly is it that you do? Because you do this, and you do that, you got this, and you got that. So, for the record, for all of Foxborough, what do you do? Okay,
so I do have a full-time job. I work with a company called Mercer. Okay. You may have seen it over by Zavarian.
Absolutely.
In Westwood. We have an office there and one in Boston. It used to actually be Putnam Investments, so that's a really recognized name that people know. So out of college, I started working for Putnam Investments. I got my Series 6, my Series 63, my Series 7 license. Mm-hmm. I was taking stock trades on 401k plans. Okay. So, big companies or unions you've heard of would outsource their plans to us. We would make stock trades, help them with everything related to their 401k. Kind of grew up in the call center. So again, large companies would outsource the administration of their benefits plans to us. So instead of going to an HR person, you would call into my group, which I then managed at that time, and we would answer questions about their health and benefits, about leaves of absence, conduct their open enrollment, compare plans for them. So we'd do 401k, health and benefits, and pension. So I had a team, a couple teams under me that answered all those questions related to all those benefits. So I know way more than I need to know now about pensions and 401ks, and I actually know what I'm doing when I enroll in my health and benefits every year.
I should have spoken to you way back when I used to be at State Street, and people would ask me, I'd say, well, I put those little numbers in the newspaper at the end of every day. And that never really seemed to really fully encompass or share what I do. But
yes.
At the same time, I always looked and said, what do I do? I put those little numbers in. So good for you for being able to put that into words.
Yeah. So
you do more than that too.
I do more than that. So that was the first 10 years of my career or so. And I would go out on the road. So a company would have us come out, and I would, whether I was on a manufacturing plant or an office building, I would give a presentation about their 401k plans and their health and benefits, and be face-to-face with people, helping them understand those important life decisions. So then I took that background, and I was doing a lot of the sales-facing things for the call center. And I moved over to our sales group. So I now write proposals, I do business strategy, I price out what we charge our clients to run those plans. So really everything from the strategy to the pricing to getting out in front of a client and our win strategies and everything like that. I really think through the whole process from start to finish.
So it sounds like a pretty strong case to be made that your business sense and your experience would lend itself well to the role of selectman.
Yeah, especially my education at Bentley University up in Waltham was a great foundation to get me. Actually, they recruited me on campus to Putnam Investments at the time, so that was a great foundation as well.
Well, fantastic. And of course, we're talking with Leah Gibson, who is running for a seat on the Board of Selectmen. There's 2 seats in the mix, and she would love to have one of your votes. Remember, voting takes place on Monday, May 7th at the Ahern Middle School. Polls open at 7 a.m. in the morning, close at 8 p.m. And stay with us here on Foxborough Cable after that for live election results, either on this channel or online through www.fcatv.org. A lot of letters out there.
A lot of
but
letters.
you'll find us if you want to find us. So election results will be after a day of voting. People want to know why vote. So there's got to be a reason why you want to be a member of the Board of Selectmen. And so let's hit it.
Yeah, so I want to take all those skills and bring them to the table. I also am a part-time real estate agent, so for the last about 15 years, I've held my real estate license and done a number of closings each year. So I have that under my belt as well. So I want to take all those skills and I want to bring them to the Downtown Revitalization Project, which is near and dear to my heart. Having grown up in town and remembered kind of what this center could be, and it's going to be different than it was, but what it can be.
And what it will be again.
And what it will be again. There's so much potential. And with the opening again of the Marilyn Rodman Center, as I've said, it's near and dear to my heart we've gone to so many shows up there already. I love being able to go uptown and see a show.
You have my pink flyers on your refrigerator, I know.
I sure do. So, the Downtown Revitalization Project, responsible spending is always, top of mind. And then the Route 1 corridor, too. So with the change of some of those bylaws that are being voted upon, there'll be a lot to do there as well. So those...
Do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Sure.
So the Route 1 zoning, as a real estate, now do you do residential, commercial? What's your
I primarily do residential. I will
Okay.
say residential and commercial are two different worlds.
Absolutely.
I do some smaller commercial stuff uptown. You may have seen my name on some of these smaller office buildings.
Have indeed. So, and that's what led me to ask, because the Route 1 zoning is a very complex, but at the same time it's all interrelated. And there were some people questioning whether it's appropriate to have a 30 article or a 30-piece article all combined into one thing for a vote. And obviously I believe yes, because you can't really do one without having the whole package. And zoning is such an intricate and guide to how we as a town want to grow, and what we're telling people in 25, 50, 100 years from now, this is where we want, and this is what we want. And so this is a huge opportunity, because Route 1 is the largest buildable expanse between Boston and Providence that doesn't have wetland restrictions or anything else. So with that, what's your stance? What do you see? What do you want to have happen?
So it's wonderful that these bylaws are being looked at again. I mean, it's been a long time, and I think that it does have to be a 30-page article being very encompassing, because this is something we need to do to think ahead to the future and to think about all those small things that we need to get in there. This isn't something we want to be looking at again in another 5 to 10 years. This is a huge project, and we really need to be forward thinking. I'd love to see some more office buildings. Obviously we have a number of restaurants, and it's really, we are lucky as a town that we have that corridor there, and there's so much that we can do. I'd like to see, some new development come up there, and
also with the Patriot Station coming online. How do you feel about that?
I'm in favor of that. I mean, it's going to happen now, and I know I have to commute to Boston sometimes, and it's tough.
It is tough.
So I know I would be looking forward to be able to pull into a spot right there and ride the train into Boston without having to think about getting dropped off at Mansfield, or can I park at Sharon? It's tough.
And I was up at Patriot Place the other day, and I saw that the GATRA has a tri-town shuttle going up to Franklin and coming into Patriot Place, and I know they have a partnership with Dean. And my vision, my dream is that there's an intermodal transportation network that goes from Franklin to Patriot Station to Mansfield, and that Foxborough again has that public transportation component. We used to have a trolley, and then we used to have a bus line. In fact, that's how the Orpheum was built, was that Mr. Perry had the bus line. He wanted to have that as a destination point for people to ride the bus. So, what's old is new again, and public transportation is not, a green serpent that you can't really get your arms around. It's real, it's there. So I'm glad to hear that you're interested in that.
People rent apartments like in Walpole or Nor because they're on the public transportation line.
Based upon where it is.
It's definitely a benefit.
And it also allows for just the flexibility of transportation options for all types of for seniors and for students, and to be a suburb where you can't get somewhere unless you have a car, you're sort of limiting yourself and limiting your growth opportunities.
You certainly are, yeah. People are coming, people come out to the city, not even to reverse commute, but maybe to have, go out to a restaurant out here or something. So.
And that's what we want, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Particularly with the nice meals tax that's paying off our OPEB and our roads and all that good stuff. That's for another conversation. We, of course, are talking to Leah Gibson, who's running for selectman. I suppose now is a good time to share that she is on Facebook at Leah Gibson for Selectman-Foxborough. Foxborough spelled the company way. Don't forget that. You can track her out there. Perhaps give her an IM if you want to show her some support. You can also send her an email if you have any questions at gibsonleah@comcast.net. And of course, her telephone number is area code 508-962-0268. But if you've seen the real estate signs, you already know that.
So, next call.
So volunteerism, with your time on the Taylor PTO, and you've done some other things, I assume volunteerism is a key piece of what's driving you here.
It is.
Is that how you are approaching this as a perhaps potential member of the Board of Selectmen?
It is. It's definitely something. I mean, if I'm called to volunteer. It's not even in the town, but at Mercer. I was the leader of the Women at Mercer Business Resource Group for 5 years. So I led that out of our Norwood chapter. Girl Scouts, I have a troop.
Yes.
With a couple of co-leaders. It's a great group. Everyone really enjoys their time there with their daughters. The PTO, the BIT auction,
Very important, and
very important.
Did a great job with that this year. They did phenomenal returns. So, as a member of the Board of Selectmen, should you be elected, top things you want to accomplish?
Again, back to the downtown revitalization
That's a key.
plan.
That's a key thing.
I really want to see the momentum that we have going. Keep going.
Well, we've got some great people at Town Hall, particularly in the planning department. Paige Duncan is just outstanding, of course, picking up on the good work by former town planner Sharon Wasson. And their work is really pushing the envelope, pushing the button forward as far as, we need to do something. We need to understand that it's not going to happen overnight, but we got to have a continuing story of forward progress. So along with the Economic Development Committee, there's a lot of strong talent already looking at these things. And so sounds like you're supportive of their work. Very
supportive. I think we're lucky to have Paige and the committee and the plan. There's just so many good things to come, and I can't wait to be a part of that.
Great. Well, that's why we're here, to seek your vote on May 7th. If you are supportive of Leah and the things that she's saying, the good things that she wants to accomplish, you'll cast your vote on May 7th. So we only have a few more minutes left. Sure. I'll give you the last word, but there's a few more things outside of just our downtown area. When we were talking beforehand, you'd also mentioned engaging some new voters.
Yes.
Let's touch on that if we could.
Yeah, so engaging new voters is something that I think has happened organically through my campaign. Obviously, I have a different demographic maybe than some of the other people running. I'm in my late 30s. I have children in the elementary schools. So engaging not only, the people that are already involved in what's going on in the town, but maybe some people that have taken a back seat before and not gotten as involved. Talking to people at baseball, talking to people, when I'm, at the Orpheum or, the Maryland Rodman Center. That'll take me a long time to get used to.
It's all good.
Talking to people as I'm out in the community every day and telling them why it's so important to vote. I know I mentioned on JC's Candidates Night, when I started looking at the voting numbers, it was kind of sad and depressing that only 9.3% of registered voters got out and voted last year. So, if you're watching this, your vote matters, your vote counts, get out there and vote. It's important.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to give you the last word. I'm going to run through it one last time. Speaking with Leah Gibson, who's running for your vote for one of the 2 seats on Foxborough Board of Selectmen. You can reach out to Leah on her Facebook page at Leah Gibson for Selectman-Foxborough, spelled Xboro. You can also reach out to her on the internet by that thing called email. You know that stuff? Gibson Leah. That's Leah, that's how you spell her name, at comcast.net. And also telephone number 508-962-0268. Polls open at 7 a.m. in the morning on May 7th. It's a Monday. It's going to be a beautiful Monday already here. the bird back there telling me that. So you want people to vote for you. Why don't we give them one last shout out as to why?
Sure. So, I think I've gone through my qualifications and my drive. I really want this. I want this for the town of Foxborough, for the people. Make your voice heard. I'm extremely approachable. I'm open to hear, every and anything, and then take a strong look at it and make a great decision. So, get out to those polls. Vote on May 7th. Your vote is important. Get engaged, get involved. Don't have it stop here. Come to town meeting on the 14th and get involved.
And you heard it here first, and then after the polls close at 8 o'clock, come back here to Foxborough Cable Access on the government channel. We'll be bringing live election results. I'm sure you'll stop in and we'll have a quick chat as to how the day went, and we'll wish you the best of luck.
Thanks. I look forward to it.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Leah
Bob.
Gibson, running for Board of Selectmen. Of course, these elections don't happen without all the wonderful volunteers. Kathy Brady is our election commissioner here in Foxborough, and it is important that you come out and vote on May 7th through your civic duty and make a difference. Until we see you at the polls or we see you at town meeting, we'll see you next time here in Foxborough Central. Take care, everybody.